And we're back with the worst Nobody Leaves the Podcast episode pitch ever. You're wearing an eye patch?
Ahoy, Sam! Avasti, mateys! Welcome
Are you
back.
going to do this the entire episode?
Welcome back to the seas and Nobody Leaves, a podcast about friendship and talking about video games and anime and puzzles and rizzles galore.
Rizzles galore. That's it.
Rizzles, the Rizzlers galore. Armies. Scallywag. So,
I give this puzzle 5 booms. Also an F-bomb. 40 seconds into the podcast. Real bad, but that's fine.
I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it. I get in this piratey mood. What am I gonna do? Listen.
I understand.
I know a lot of people are really itching for us to talk about 5 Pirates 100 Gold Coins puzzle, but you know, we gotta cover the basics. We gotta talk about what's been going on in our little worlds. We didn't get to talk about that so much last week.
It's really too early in the podcast's life to be entering like our Kid A era. You know what I mean? Like I think we're getting a little too experimental, a little too fast. But
you gotta say
maybe
cooking.
I'm wrong.
Maybe people will come back to us for riddles in the future. Maybe this will be the thing that we get known for.
What I'm learning is that you've seen like 5 things because you're like already scraping the bottom of the barrel and you're like, well, I guess I could pitch a riddle.
This is top priority. Okay.
A lot of questions.
Sam, what you been watching? What you been at?
Wait, yeah, we haven't had a regular check-in for 2 weeks now because of our last experimental avant-garde podcast.
Yeah, there's too much art getting in the way of our just kind of casual, friendly discussions that most people kind of seek podcasts out for. Is just kind of like a bit of friendly, comforting banter, you know, not something too challenging. Yeah. A little bit banter for the lads. So, yeah, yes. You know, it's you know, we got to get a little bit of that coming back, I think. So, yeah, you've been watching anything interesting?
Yes, between our election episode and now, I lost my mind a little bit. I watched my favorite movie of the year so far, which is Ryan Coogler's movie Sinners, which is a vampire blues metal opera movie, and it's really good. And I have been obsessed with it, and I've seen it twice in theaters since we last talked about general watching stuff. I watched it again like 2 days ago.
That's crazy.
And I might go for a third time.
Yeah. I know, I'm very excited to check out the new Tracking Shots video about Sinners that I haven't watched yet and need to get to.
Wow, you're a shill and a bad friend.
taking it from all sides on this episode, but
Indeed.
You know, I am excited to see what you think about it, because I mean, that is a big part of the premise of this podcast, is that you know how to recommend things that I'm gonna like. So if you're this passionate about this movie this early in, I'm definitely, my interest is piqued. Do you think
yes,
it would
it is a cool movie, and it's probably gonna stick around in theaters because I made a video being panicked about like I want this movie to succeed and it might not, and it's doing very well. So that's exciting.
That's what they call like the Tracking Shots bump in like the
it's the Tracking Shots effect. Yeah, no, my 2,000 views have really generated $60 million in box office.
Yeah, there's like current dispute of like, can we abbreviate the Taylor Swift effect or the Tracking Shots effect to TS? Like which one deserves the initials? You know, there's heated debate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds like fun though. I mean, I don't know, like I like that the culture's like really coming full circle on vampires. Like it's not, we've gotten over like the basics, like vampires are funny, and like I feel like we're digging into vampires at this point. You know, it's just from all sides.
Let me tell you, vampires are funny in this movie.
That's
like
good.
Very funny.
That is good.
They're weird little guys. It's a very interesting movie. And it may come back again at some point in this podcast. Not necessarily this episode, but you know, it's in the canon for
Yeah.
sure. It
I
will
mean,
someday
like,
be on the shelf behind me.
what we do in the shadows is definitely like, on the list as well. Like I vampire vampire humor is just sick and awesome. Like,
Vampires will return.
yeah, we're always bringing vampires back. Vampire Weekend we talked about lot of vampires going on. Didn't you watch him? Oh, it was Nosferatu that you watched.
I watched Nosferatu. I also watched Vampire Hunter D recently in theaters,
Yes. Yes.
which was very boring, but is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Just old retro anime that I think had its like 40th anniversary.
Mm-mm-mm.
So animation was limited 40 years ago, mostly, with a few Akira exceptions. Cough, cough.
Mm-mm-mm.
But yeah, vampires, I'm sure, will be making multiple appearances throughout our run.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I feel like I want to talk about what I watched, which is a lot of Taskmaster, which I was kind of talking to you a little bit about off air. I've gotten up to season 3 of Australian Taskmaster. I love it so much. It is the jam. I'm so into it because I'm someone who loves riddles. I love puzzles. I love just like when people are confused and then they go, "Oh,
It's all business with you.
yeah." It's nice. It's nice to see like a riddle puzzle thing where it's not about like watching people be smart. It's just about watching people be relatable and not understand things in relatable ways. Like, I think we've all been bamboozled or perplexed by like a fairly simple, straightforward thing before, and it's nice to watch people under duress just kind of like fall into that pattern. Yeah, I just want to push Taskmaster. I want everyone to watch Taskmaster because it's good. It makes me happy. It's nice.
Do you want to explain what Taskmaster is? Because I had vaguely knew about it before you told me about it earlier in the week, but I much better understood it after you explained it.
Yeah, it can be confusing like without watching it, but it is like a panel comedian show. Like each season they'll have like 5 panelists, like sitting on a bench, and then there's the Taskmaster, the kind of like judge, this like very just patriarch sitting on a golden red throne. Greg Davies in the UK series and Tom Gleeson in the Australian series. I haven't seen New Zealand yet, but yeah, it is like them being put through a series of tasks and challenges. All of the tasks are like pre-recorded, and they were given like the same sets of conditions, just like kind of across different points. So they all completed the tasks in isolation, and we're not able to like look at the other contestants and see what they were doing, really like consult anyone for any ideas. The only person they have to accompany them is the like co-host who just kind of basically just says all the information you need is included in the task to every question that they ask.
So incredibly helpful is what you're saying.
Yeah, like there's a lot of vitriol thrown his way for how unhelpful he is. A lot of just like real degrading stuff hurled at him, and he's just the perfect like nodding silently and judgmentally. And everything's pre-recorded and then like edited together, and they all watch it back together so that they can compare like how each person like solved it differently. So yeah, you
And
get to see
what sort of
gaps.
tasks are we talking about here? Like, what are these challenges? Like, what's an example?
A good example is when I was telling you about, a bit of a spoiler for Taskmaster season 3 of Australia, although watching it is very different to listening to me explain it. They had a task where you needed to drop a bucket of like coffee from a height without spilling the coffee. And it was like liters multiplied by meters was how that was scored. So the more liters you had remaining and the more meters you dropped it from, like the higher score you would get. So a bunch of different strategies. Like some people are going to like, just risk it by dropping it from high. Just like as long as there's some left, they're going to get a lot of meters. Some people are going to drop it not a very long distance, but it's all going to stay in, right? Some people are going to come up with really stupid solutions and just spill the coffee immediately and get disqualified. Some people are going to try and fit it in a plastic bag and drop it from a height, and the plastic bag will just burst and spill everywhere.
Yeah,
and not succeed at
what
all.
team do you feel the most kindred spirit with, Mallory?
Definitely there is a woman on that, I'm struggling to remember her name. Oh, Conchetta, she was amazing, where she's just like, talking like about like, what do I do? This is impossible, and just like drops it from like absolutely no height and just immediately spills everywhere, and she does not get any points at all. And it's just so
That
fun
was
to
going to be
watch.
my answer, was trying to be cheap and be like, well, let me just drop it from 2 meters, but then actually mess it up anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I might have gone ambitious, but yeah, I do feel like I would have. It was also, there was a one guy on there, Reese, who they dropped it from like the height in the plastic bag, and the whole time they were just like, it's definitely going to explode everywhere, 100%. This is not going to work. And they just are like, well, time's up, gotta do it anyway. And they're just, yep. I could definitely see myself there as well. But then there was this guy who like got a towel and soaked up all of the coffee and then put like duct tape over the top of the bucket and dropped it. And there you go. Like they just wring out the towel and like all that coffee counts. So it's like it rewards like creative, like lateral thinking, fun solutions. So you do get to still kind of have that like kind of moment, while also like kind of putting yourself in the shoes of the like hapless idiots who cannot figure out anything. So it's a very, very fun show, and it's very like Moorish. It's very hard to like put down once you've started watching it, I feel like.
You've reminded me that I've actually taken my own foray into, I guess you'd call it like reality TV. I mean, it technically is.
Oh, cool.
But like improvisation or what have you.
Yeah.
Typically not my bag, but I have been watching Clarkson's Farm. Are you familiar with this show?
I've never heard of this show. I'm fascinated.
So Jeremy Clarkson, right, from your place.
Well, okay, yeah. Speaking of the Brits,
from the Brits, Top Gear's own Grand Tour's own Jeremy Clarkson tries to make a farm, or tries to run a farm that he owns that's like massive, and he spends a bunch of money and makes no money, and it's very interesting. And he talks to a bunch of colorful characters who are just real farmers in England, and it's a really good time. He's got this
lovely
business manager guy who is like the specter of death. He calls him Cheerful Charlie, and anytime he shows up, you're like, oh no, what's Cheerful Charlie gonna tell him this time? And it's like, yeah, you've killed this entire crop, or like you can't sell this because you're breaking this regulation or this law. It is
wow.
It's a good time. I'm almost through the first season, and that's been my like lunch break content lately.
That is really funny. I feel like that is the thing he could do that I would be very entertained by, is putting himself in a situation where he doesn't have expertise and isn't like in control. Like I would want to see that of him, I feel like.
It's a lot of getting tractors stuck in mud and being like upset.
That's
he tries to like terraform his farm at one point to like make like a pond, and he ends up making 2 ponds that both are not where they're supposed to be, and it's a good time.
That's insane.
Yeah. But the stars of the show are the locals, who are all funny and weird. It has that like Nathan Fielder effect where like how did you find the most interesting person in the world and like put a camera in their face?
Yeah. No, definitely. I feel like reality TV, like definitely like growing up I was not into it, but it's definitely something I've been like, the older I get, the more I've been like, this is actually a vibe. I think I couldn't relate to adults when I was a kid, and now I can, and I feel like that has like changed a huge part of the game for me. So yeah,
it's also like evolved as a medium, right? Like
totally,
it's gone in 2 different directions. It's gone in the very like highbrow, The Rehearsal or Nathan For You, like very considered, very meticulously edited, or in the complete like trash
Too Hot
zone
to Handle
of like the Too Hot to Handle, Love Island, what have you. And I know that is all like massive, and I've not had my Love Island awakening, but when I want to, there'll be like 40 seasons waiting for me.
Not to dox myself, but someone I went to middle school with was on Too Hot to Handle, and that blew my mind.
Oh goodness.
That was like, that's like the most famous, I think. I think there's somebody who lived in my neighborhood that was in like a Taylor Swift like music video, but like to me, that's the most famous anyone I know has like gotten where I'm like, whoa, like you were on TV. That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
I went to your 13th birthday party.
Well, there's like 100,000 seasons of all these different shows. So at some point, it's like, look to your left, look to your right. One of these people is going to be in Love Island season 40.
True.
Love Island, Botswana, you know?
When are they going to make Trans Island? Like, what are they going to...
It'll happen.
Yeah, what are they going to put me on TV? Come on now.
Unironically, it will happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm going to be too old when it does. Anyway, maybe I'll like round it out. Maybe I'll like be just in time when Senior Citizen Trans Island is coming out because Trans Island's gotten old. Like I feel like I might just intersect the demo there.
Trans MILF Island.
Trans Grandma Island.
MILF Island, real show, by the way.
MILF Island is a real show?
Yes, I believe
it
so.
It is disrespectful that they don't make Trans MILF Island. Do you know the amount of people that would fucking go absolutely buck wild over Trans MILF Island? Like you would have the most dedicated.
I don't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you would have like, you know, like the like app thing where you're like looking for the whale that's gonna spend a bunch of money like on a like free app. Like that is what.
Are you saying Trans MILF Island is like the gacha game of reality
TV? These people that would be so drawn into Trans MILF Island that would be the most important thing in the entire world. Like they would be making bank, you know. And I'm giving it away for free on this podcast that I was gonna watch because it's about pirates.
Still don't know how I'm gonna title or thumbnail this. By the way, you have just
nobody leaves until we finish 5 pirates 100 gold coins riddle. Or I feel like you could say like 5 pirates 100 gold coin solution because people are looking for the solution to this podcast.
I'll figure it out. Unlike the riddle, which I haven't figured out since we stopped recording like 10 minutes ago, last week, quote unquote.
I just winked under my iPad. That was so embarrassing.
This is dumb. Why would anyone watch this?
I can't believe I winked on the iPad.
You're the worst.
I was looking at my own feed, and I was like, why is the image of me not winking back at me? What is happening? So, Sam, this week I pitched you 5 Pirates 100 Gold Coins puzzle, which we are going to solve live on air and find the real solution.
Mallory, I have a couple of questions just to get us started, all right? Didn't expect to get a link to mathisfun.com as part of this podcast. I'm not going to lie. Is the eye patch getting a little irritating? That's my second question. I see you're letting it... You're peeking out your other eye.
You want the diagonal look, right? You want the... Oh, am I? Shit.
Yeah, you can see your other eye. I thought you were trying to, like, sneak it so you can get your depth perception back.
No, it's okay. I'm going to have a headache at the end of this, but that's fine.
Oh. We sacrifice so much for this podcast.
For our art.
Yes. So how did you find this? You were just Googling fun riddles?
I was just Googling riddles. I was like...
What is your day like? What is your day like?
Okay. You know that riddle about the grain and the fox and the hen and the boat and the farmer and the river?
And the chicken and the no, I don't.
Okay. So here's a good riddle. This is an example of one. Is like a farmer has to cross a river. He has a fox, a chicken, and a bag of grain, or I feel like it's usually a hen, but who knows what, there's no difference between that. But he has one boat. He can only fit like one thing on the boat with him. So he goes with the fox, he goes with the hen, or he goes with the grain. If he leaves the hen and the grain together, the hen will eat the grain. If he leaves the fox and the hen together, the fox will eat the hen. How do you get all the stuff to the other side of the river while like not losing any of it by like leaving it alone? And when you figure out the solution to that, it's like, cool. Like
do you send the fox and the grain along without yourself?
You can't pilot the boat, I think, without being on it. So
okay,
do you want me to just tell you the solution because it's not about this riddle?
I'm thinking about it. Tell me. I got no idea.
Yeah, this is a test riddle. This is actually a good riddle. I don't think I could have solved this by myself. Basically, you have to take things back and forth. So the only combination you can leave like without you is the fox and the grain. So you take the hen to the other side of the river, leave the hen there.
You
go
come back,
get one
take
or the
the
other.
grain, or
I don't know if it matters, but you get one or the other. Take that, trade that for the hen, because you can basically supervise stuff while you're at port, I guess.
So you take the fox over on the second trip, bring the hen back, take the grain over on the third trip, take the hen over on the fourth trip.
Yes. So it's like you have to bring the hen like back in order to like solve it. So it's kind of like one of those ones you're like, well, how do you like? When I learned the solution to that, I'm like, that's cool.
How was I supposed to know I could take multiple trips? That's kind of the riddle problem, right? Is it's like you don't always know all the parameters, and I feel like that's going to be the issue with the 5 pirates gold puzzle, which we should probably throw this on screen using our new like tier list layout, maybe, just so play along at home.
Yes.
But here's the puzzle that you have pitched me as our podcast episode this week, which is still an insane idea. I have no idea how we're gonna.
I'm so happy to hear someone else say this aloud and someone else actually care or be forced to care about
I don't care about it, to be clear. I'm being forced at gunpoint.
Yes.
I cannot leave until we solve this puzzle or we kill each other, one of the two. The 5 pirates puzzle. 5 pirates of different ages have a treasure of 100 gold coins. On their ship, they decide to split the coins using this scheme. The oldest pirate proposes how to share the coins, and all pirates, including the oldest, vote for or against it. If 50% or more of the pirates vote for it, then the coins will be shared that way. Otherwise, the pirates proposing the scheme will be thrown overboard, and the process is repeated with the pirates that remain. As pirates tend to be a bloodthirsty bunch, if a pirate would get the same number of coins if he voted for or against a proposal, he will vote against so that the pirate who proposes the plan will be thrown overboard. Assuming that all 5 pirates are intelligent, rational, greedy, and do not wish to die, and are rather good at math for pirates, what will happen? Mallory, I hate math. Why have you done this to me?
It's not that much about math. So that actually little addendum about...
Okay, that's a good hint.
I guess it's like you can create like a fucking theorem like n minus this equals the amount of coins that this pirate gets or whatever, but it's like you don't really need to. It's pretty like I feel like that little aside about math is like just there's a lot with just the wording of the puzzle that drives me crazy. Like already. I feel like the biggest thing like that when I set eyes on this puzzle, I was like, what the fuck? Is the first sentence, it just draws you in so much of just 5 pirates of different ages have a treasure of 100 gold coins. That is the craziest shit that anyone has ever said in the fucking English language. Like 5 pirates of different ages is the craziest qualifier to attach to 5 pirates. That is just, I don't know. If you kind of reach the car,
isn't that like just the norm? Yeah.
Like,
It's just setting the parameters. You can't be like, oh, they're
Yeah.
all quadruplets.
like, yeah,
And
you
that's how
solve
it's
the puzzle
solved.
by they were
Or
born in the
quintuplets.
same moment. Yeah, like, come on now. But it's like that's what I love about riddles. Like, they have to like phrase these things in these weird little fucking meticulous ways to like counter argue, and then it's like it's not until you see the solution that you're like, oh, that's why you said that. Like, that's why you phrased it that way. Like because the other part that is like probably the most crazy is the fucking like assuming that all 5 pirates are intelligent, rational, greedy, and do not wish to die and are good at math. It's like you have to have so many qualifiers just to make this like concept. Like, it's like this person is pitching this concept of the solution so fucking hard already in this riddle. Crazy
There's a
stuff.
lot of very enthusiastic pitching going on.
Yes.
It's catching. We're the oldest pirate, and we have to come up with the proposal that means that the 5 all vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they all want coins. And apparently, like, proposing that we each get 20 coins is not the solution, I'm assuming.
Yeah, see, and this is where, like, the problem with this puzzle is, like, realistically, that's what would happen.
Right.
This puzzle is so not grounded in reality or any, like, it's so fundamentally misunderstands human nature, I feel like. But yeah.
If Pirate John Bob has 10 apples and Pirate Joe Bob has 5 apples, and they're both going on a train that's running 60 miles an hour, who gets to Kansas City first? You know, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you have solved it. I feel like I would argue for the solution. Yeah, they would just each day. Do you want 20? Yeah, all right. But you
Does it
forget.
have to do with them going overboard? Like, going overboard somehow is the solution?
No, it's like how does the oldest pirate survive going overboard? Because the pirates are bloodthirsty. So if they would get the same amount of money for killing him or not killing him, they will choose to kill him.
Right.
So, and they're all men.
But he can't be like, if you push me overboard, I take all the money with me. Or is that what this is gonna like?
Well, so that's the other fucking thing is why doesn't the oldest pirate kill all the pirates? Because there's versions where it's like
He's outnumbered.
Yeah, but like when you start breaking it down to like the most granular things, these pirates' respect for the law is insane. I don't know why they care so much about this system where the oldest pirate gets to decide a plan and then everyone has to vote for it. And they only get to throw them overboard if they succeed. It's like, if they're bloodthirsty, why don't they just fucking kill each other and there only be one pirate and it's whoever's the strongest?
It would be chaos, right? Like, you need to have some kind of order to your
Yeah.
plan, or else the mutiny won't succeed.
But I feel like the riddle's asking for too much because it's like you want this bloodthirsty element to be added, but you also want them to really, really obey these rules. It's just...
Is it just well, because it's interesting, right? Because it's 5 and 50% of the pirates have to vote for it. So in round 1 of voting, 3 pirates have to vote for it.
Yes. So you need to win over 2 pirates.
Can the oldest pirate not just say 33 coins? He can't. It doesn't split evenly, right? It's 33, 33, 33.
Yeah.
So he can't, like, say, hey, pirate number 3 and 4, let's, each get a third of the money.
Yeah, I mean, again, a pretty realistic solution, but I think the main thing that is they don't want you to say that they're going to split it 20, 20, 20 or 33, 33, 34 is that their pirates are greedy. So if there's a solution that means they can get more money, they will choose that solution over like others. But yeah, realistically, you have a bunch of bloodthirsty pirates that you're hanging out with. You want to get them on your good side, because you don't want to die. I think these pirates are really playing with fire based on their greed. I think that, they're really playing fast and loose. And the idea, because, like, I feel like you're on the right track with, like, the solution is, like, you just got to get 2 pirates over to your side and the other 2 pirates can, like, fuck off. But it's, like, the idea that those 2 pirates would, like, get completely fucked over and not try to stage a mutiny is crazy to me.
You have to accept the rules of the game for the riddle to work.
Yeah.
But then the riddle's going to break the rules anyway. If it's a bad riddle.
Yeah. So yeah, no, absolutely. Let's accept the rules for the riddle of the game. Where you at? Where's your mind?
The oldest pirate cannot say, I'll give 50 coins to you and 50 coins to you and succeed.
Mm-hmm.
They could say, hey, we pirates 3 and 4 push off pirates 5 and 2 and we'll all split the gold, but that doesn't work either. I guess and then you go to pirate 3 and say, well, let's push pirate 4 off, and then it's a 1v1 and maybe you're succeeding. I'm assuming that's not the solution.
Yeah, it's not like, it's like, here's a solution where nobody dies and I get the most amount of money.
This podcast is called Nobody Leaves Until We Finish the 5 Pirate Puzzle, so I guess we're just here forever because I don't have a solution. This is like that Twilight Zone episode where the person can stop time, but then they drop the stop time device and you're just stuck forever.
This is like the movie Click.
Yes, we have fast forwarded through life, stuck watching this pirate riddle, and you're all stuck with us. You can't leave the video until we've solved it.
Are you determined to solve it? Because I figured we would talk about... Okay.
Tell me the answer.
Okay. So it is, if you scroll down on the page, you can also read it, and I'll show it on screen for our viewers. But here's the solution. Before I read further, I want to know what you think of this solution. The oldest pirate will propose a 98-0-1-0-1 split. So the oldest pirate will get 98.
Reading it over. Yeah.
Middle gets 1, youngest gets 1. Then they've named the pirates. We're gonna go back to this. They have named the pirates Alex, Billy, Colin, Duncan, and Eddie. And they basically solve it by working backwards. So hypothetically, if the 4th and 5th pirates are the only ones left, the 4th pirate will just take 100% of the coins and win the vote, because they can just vote for themselves.
He gets 50% or more. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. If it's 3 pirates, then the 3rd pirate can split it 99-0-1, and the 5th pirate will accept that deal, because if the 3rd pirate gets voted off, then 5th pirate gets 0. But if if he stays on, the 5th pirate gets 1. So like the only way that the 5th pirate has like negotiating power with the vote, but like 1 is the minimum amount of money because it's 0 versus 1. Then once it gets to 4 pirates, it's like flipped. So it's basically like every other pirate, like you end up being on the same team if you're an even number or an odd numbered pirate. So the like 4th pirate is gonna die under the 4th pirate will get no coins under the 3rd pirate steal. So the 2nd pirate
every pirate's trying to avoid the scenario of there being 2 pirates left.
Yes. So like it's in their
every youngest pirate is trying to avoid that.
Yes. Every youngest pirate wants to avoid the next vote, but like every like second oldest pirate is incentivized to vote against and throw him overboard, so they can get like, because they'll get a lot of money if they vote him overboard. So it ends up 98-0-1-0-1. That is their solution.
This is not a very fun riddle. I wanted it to be like the scorpion stings the creature, I can't remember, the frog.
Yeah, this I feel like
what rides across the river on the scorpion rides on the back of something, I can't remember.
Yeah, I feel like a scorpion sticking you right now. That should be okay. You know, like our little symbols. Okay, for the uninitiated, Sam's symbol on tracking shots is a frog. The frog is in control.
It is a frog.
And when we were making this podcast, I was kind of like, I kind of want to use the frog because it's really cute, but I want to like have my own paired mascot, and like kind of went through like a bunch of different things of like, what am I gonna be? Ended up being this little like ghost looking thing because like I like ghosts, but man, do I want to change it to a scorpion right now because I feel like that would be very fitting in my dynamic.
What is it that rides across the river with a scorpion?
It's Scorpion the Frog.
Is it a frog? It is
Yeah.
a frog.
Yeah.
Aw.
The scorpion rides on the back of the frog.
I remembered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
You are
in
the
my
scorpion
nature.
in my life.
That I
Drowning
feel
us
like
both.
I feel like that is kind of relevant to this riddle because it's kind of like they're fucking themselves over when they could just like they're so committed to. I know you got to accept the rules of the riddle.
In
but
reality, I think that all the pirates kill the guy because they don't understand the explanation.
yeah,
But...
he finishes explaining why he should keep 98 coins, and they just fucking
he
kill
goes,
him
"No,
and
you
take
understand? You still get 1 coin, and that's better than nothing." It's like, no.
They all just take a handful and just fucking call it a day.
My pirate pride wouldn't allow it, you know.
Yeah, it makes their heads hurt too much. It's I don't know. It's a very fanciful solution in my opinion. And it also, I think the point that I get really stuck on is like the value of killing someone in pirate world is one like
well,
because
it's self-preservation, right? Like the reason that the pirate goes with this deal is because if you follow it to its logical conclusion, everyone but the youngest pirate and the second youngest pirate die.
Yeah. Yes.
And the youngest pirate gets nothing. Like that's the reason that you accept the deal.
Yeah.
Even if you're like the pirate's not getting the vote or what have you.
Yeah.
Or not getting any money. But
But
you're
like,
getting hung up on like the why would they behaviorally like agree to this whole thing to begin with? That's not the point. It's a riddle, right? Like,
okay. I feel like there's
Sally
space.
doesn't really have 50 apples to split with the class. You understand?
I feel like there is space to play with that though, because I feel like I feel like you push reality at a certain, because like you give Sally 50 apples and paint her as a generous, kind-hearted person so that we as humans can find some way to relate to your fun math problem, right?
Are you the person writing on the test like you wouldn't have this many apples, this is stupid, and then getting a F?
No, I solved my fucking math problems, but I did talk about them afterwards because I'm just like, I feel like this is really stretching the veil of credibility. And this puzzle gets reposted in a lot of places. Like if you search 5 Pirates puzzle, you're going to get a lot of cool math games. You're going to be on Wikimedia Commons. You're going to be all over. There's a Wikipedia page called 5 Pirate Puzzle. Like, you know, people are raving about this puzzle, but like I feel like, you know, you got to have like a little bit more humanity, but like this is the thing is like what I really got to get into is the bloodthirsty cause, because there's like the bloodthirsty clause where it's basically like a pirate will favor violence even if like the end result is the same. So like if all the pirates decide, if they didn't have the bloodthirsty clause, like basically it's like all the pirates can just give the 5th pirate 0 coins, because even if it just ends up to the last 2, like you get 0 coins, basically. Something like that. It's like the pirate will favor killing someone over nothing happening, which is...
Well, the most ridiculous part of this is the assumption that if it gets down to the oldest and youngest pirate, the youngest pirate would agree to lose the vote and lose all the money, right?
Yeah, like there's
in a 1v1 scenario, it ain't gonna go down that way, because the pirates are bloodthirsty, greedy.
Mm-hmm. And you're telling
adjectives.
Me a young limber pirate is not going to be able to take down like his older brother? Like, you know, I feel like he's got the youthful advantage on his side, but like I don't know, their adherence to the rules is insane, but also like the idea that like 1 coin is enough to like, it's like I would love to kill you if I had the chance. Like if I were not bound by these rules, I would kill you, and if there's a way that I can use these rules to kill you, I will do that. I will choose violence, right? I'm a violent like psychopath pirate, okay? And then 1 coin, well, all right, you can live another day. That's so crazy to me that's like what is like
the idea that like middle pirate and youngest pirate are like, well, at least I got a coin.
Yeah,
is, silly.
The values hierarchy, like the higher, it's not explicitly stated, but it is like essential to understanding this problem that they value killing someone, and that is like something that is a valuable, fun experience for them, but not as much as one gold coin, which is just
Right.
such a crazy, like, I don't know. That's the thing that fucking drove me crazy about this puzzle.
What's the gold coin to dollar ratio? Like, is it worth
Golden
accepting the
doubloons.
logic because you get the gold coin, or if the gold coin's worth like $5, is it worth throwing logic out the window and just killing the oldest?
How much is a gold doubloon today? I have to know this because
Mallory, how much does $1 cost? You know, that's like what we have to ask ourselves here.
yeah. Oh man, come on. It was right there. I'm wasting fucking podcast time. This sucks. Okay. Well, fuck Google.
You did this. You made it a riddle podcast.
Okay. Oh, okay. One doubloon right now, one golden doubloon would be $0.000089 US dollars. So that is like how much murdering someone is. And like,
what?
Put
Is a doubloon not like large? What's a doubloon? Is it not like a coin?
I assumed it's a gold because
a gold coin's worth more than $0.0098.
I guess so. I feel like it's like a currency conversion. It's like with inflation.
You just got you got Google Gemini right now. That doesn't make any sense.
Google Gemini weighing in on the 5 pirates puzzle. How much is one gold coin worth today? $3,000. Well,
yeah.
No, that's it.
I was gonna say.
Well, but like, I'm more in like the thing of the conversion, like, because I don't care about how much like a gold is worth now. I care about like how much people valued a gold coin back then.
I understand. The puzzle presupposes that the lead pirate is such a good orator and a good leader and a good explainer of math that they don't just kill him and, keep going. This feels like the note you find in like a Fallout vault where someone has the solution to keep the vault from going to shit, but you're in the Fallout vault and it's clearly gone to shit already, and you're like, all right, well, that didn't work. This bozo lost.
Do you think
is the person on the sinking ship going, no, but I can like fasten like a resin. If you give me some time, I can fix this. Like the Titanic doesn't have to sink. And it's like, no, they're just going to get ignored and killed.
Do you think that the 5 Pirates puzzle was a protest letter written by a pirate that was overboarded for proposing this puzzle and so frustrated that no one would just hear him out? Just kind of
he's starving to death on a raft, and he just writes this up on a message in a bottle. And
it was
then
like
dies.
uncovered on it was uncovered and literally carved into like a plank of wood that like washed ashore, and someone was like, "Hey, this is a pretty good puzzle."
I'll say this: the riddle doesn't cheat. Like, it sticks within the parameters it has. It doesn't add the fact that you can make multiple trips or anything. Like it is operating within the rules of the puzzle that has been established. However,
yes,
I hate riddles. This sucks.
I
much prefer trivia,
fair.
The poor man's riddle.
Trivia
memorization.
Yeah, I mean, I do like a little head scratcher. I do like to go, but this one was pretty confusing. I really want to address something which I feel like is a lot of fun, is the fact that in the solution they named the pirates like Alex, Billy, I think Charlie, Duncan, and Eddie. And not even
Colin, Duncan,
Colin,
and Eddie, but yes.
Colin, Duncan, and Eddie. So first of all, a British person wrote this. Second of all, like, that's like, because I know people are like, like, you get the math test and all the names are like white people names or whatever, or like everyone's male or whatever. It's like, yeah, we get it. But also, this is about pirates, and you didn't think of any pirates' names. And I feel like Blackbeard was right there, right? Like, B is for Blackbeard, surely. Like, that's...
Yeah, but then you're bringing in your knowledge of the worst generation and the bounties. Like, how many berries is Alex worth compared to the power level of Eddie? And can Duncan hold 3 swords in his hands and mouth? Like, we have to, like, really... Which one of these people have Conqueror's hockey? Like, we have to understand this, all right?
if they took a bite of gum gum, then they will not be able to swim when they get thrown overboard. So the stakes
Do
are
they
a lot
all
higher.
have devil fruit powers, or
Yes.
only Duncan? Like, we gotta know.
So that's kind of, this is like one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on board as a One Piece and therefore pirate expert, to kind of help me with like, what do we name these 5 pirates, like, or like what would be like more appropriate? Because they're like, Yahar, my name's Alex. Like, come on, like that's so fucking like, that sucks ass. Could you imagine being like boarded by like fucking like Duncan? I will say Duncan sounds nice in a pirate. Duncan
Duncan is a good pirate name.
That sounds nice, but like Yar.
Well, let me tell you, One Piece has some winners.
Okay.
There's Scoops Gabin is a pirate that they're dealing with right now in the
All
manga.
right. Yes.
Silver's Raleigh is pretty good. It's all they're all based on real people, right? So like Silver's Raleigh is Sir Walter Raleigh. Blackbeard's obviously Blackbeard.
Whoa.
There's Trafalgar D. Law, or Trafalgar Water D. Law, I think. A spoiler.
It's a
there's all
spoiler
kinds
that
of
water
weird-
is part of his name.
It's a spoiler that D is part of his name, but whoops. Augustus Kid, like there's all kinds of interesting. Jewel Bonnie, like there's some winners. There's a whole group in One Piece that are explicitly based on other pirates. Like in real life, they have like real life equivalents, and there's some fun stuff there with the names.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I feel like
What do you have to say about that? I'm gonna talk to you about One Piece because you gave me a riddle to talk about for an hour.
I wanted to give you like room to talk about One Piece, but I also really thought you would come with me when I said let's think of a name, a B name, a C name, a D name. I really thought you would like feel like that's
Luffy,
pretty fun.
Zoro, or Zolo.
Well, see, do
Nami,
you even think
Usopp,
that like?
Sanji?
Do you think that like it's a good idea? When I look at like when the solution to the puzzle is talking about like Colin will do this and Billy will do that, I'm so much more confused than if you just call them Pirate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, what is your thoughts?
It all washes over you.
Yeah, it's like real hard to like, you know, like figure that kind of stuff out. Like unless you have like, I guess like I feel like if I had a picture of them and you could see how old and decrepit they were in like each increasing stage, and they had like name tags, like maybe I could come with you, but like that's
Mallory, I don't
rough.
want to be mean, but this is made for children, and I think that's why they're simple names at the end of the day.
I mean, like, yes, they're alphabetical, right? So you can like, whenever you don't know which pirate they're talking about, you're like B, second one, okay? Yes. But also,
an 8-year-old can be like, I understand the name Alex, I don't understand the name Augustus Kid or Trafalgar Water D. Law.
But like, even if the kid is reading Augustus, that's a teaching moment. And then you're like, no, kid, that's Augustus. Pirates were named that. And now the kid knows another pirate fact. You know, it's
not even Augustus. I can't remember the actual name.
Yeah.
Kid. I always think of him as Kid.
I think E is for Edward Teach. I think B is for Blackbeard.
Those are the same person. You've already confused it.
But like, okay. Yeah. All right. I guess I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think you're stupid and you can't solve puzzles. And I would happily drown in the river with you instead of us both getting across.
D would be Davy Jones.
Okay. You need an A. If we're following the A, B, C, D, E rule.
Is like Archie from
and
Pokemon.
If we don't both agree, then we have to go overboard and not get any of the gold.
we both have to love these names, or we're
yes,
we're not gonna get it. Our A is for Archibald, right? That's
okay.
Or Archie because that's the leader of team.
Archie's a pirate name. Archibald's like a wizard name.
That's true. Archie's the name of Team Aqua's leader, and that's like a pirate right there.
I see.
And you'll like that, surely. Sure, that's and I've thrown you
like
there.
Pokemon, dumbass. I didn't even talk about the fact that I sat in a GameStop line for 12 hours to get a Switch 2 this week.
Yeah, I kind of meant that was gonna be. I guess we're gonna start the episode.
Yeah, we gotta start the episode over again. Let's talk about pirate riddles for another hour.
We got C. Calhoun. That's a pirate sounding name.
Calhoun does not sound like a pirate to me at all.
Curvy feet.
Curvy does sound like a pirate. That's fun.
crooked, creaking. Yeah, curvy.
Crooked Jake, you know,
Yeah,
pirate.
that's cool. What would your pirate name be?
Crooked Jake. It's Speedy Jones.
Oh yeah, Speedy Jones. That is a really
I
good
use
pirate
Speedy
name.
Jones. It is. So some context. As you do, you play a lot of like Jackbox games and random, you know, golf with friends or Mario Kart or whatever, and you make like a little like name for competing with people. And at some point in the pandemic, I was playing a lot of Trivia Murder Party with friends. Is that what that game's called? Trivia Murder Party, right?
I think so. I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's the like trivia Jackbox game. One of the answers to one of the questions, I don't even remember if it's the right answer, but it was like about horse racing, and one of the horses was named Speedy Jones, and I've been using that as my like handle in those kind of games for years at this point.
Yeah, no, it's good, and I've known Sam as Speedy Jones through like these many things, and then like the other week we were playing Uno, and like there's like a thing where like bots kept like joining, or like being automatically added, and it was like
Yes.
7 times in a row people would be like, "Who's Speedy Jones? Oh, we gotta kick out
Cut
Speedy,
Speedy
Jones as a bot." Yeah, and I was like, I'm like defending Sam's honor, like I know Speedy, I know this man, I know him as Speedy Jones.
I have been Speedy Jones for like 5 years.
Yeah, I think by that logic, I feel like my pirate name would be Bumpertons, which is
Yes.
based on a video game
Your
donkey
Smash
joke.
handle.
Yeah, are you aware of where that comes from?
I know it's a donkey joke. I don't remember which one.
It's where it's his I think not Monkey McDonald's. I think Monkey McDonald's animatic where he's just like, no, it's Donkey's Language. It's Donkey's Language as an animatic where he's just talking about like how he like refers to things like he calls chicken nuggets clucker bites, and he, you know, and then he calls barbecue sauce Bumperton's Delight, and that's a delightful thing to call barbecue sauce. So
You know what's sad is that that video is probably like 12 years old.
it's
If not more.
probably more. It was old
Yeah.
when I found it, when I was going through the donkey back annals after I like first discovered him. Yeah, but
YouTube turned 20 this week, actually, or I guess last week.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah. Well, and
I got nothing to say about that.
This
I
is-
got nothing to
wait.
say about pirates.
is this our 20th anniversary video commemorating YouTube's like
Absolutely. The
Yeah,
5
and
pirate rule.
we were
The 20 year
raised
YouTube.
we were raised on YouTube. Like we're products
were.
of a YouTube generation. And like this is like we've taken that and like this is what we're giving we're giving back.
Here's a math riddle for you.
Okay.
The longer I do YouTube, the more of the overall percentage of YouTube existing I am a part of.
That's
As is
Yeah.
true for us. So we're only 1/20th of YouTube, realistically like 1/40th right
Mhm.
now with the podcast. But if we
Mhm.
keep going, we'll be like 1/30th or 1/20th.
yeah.
We just have to make a podcast for 10 years.
How old? Yeah, I guess. How many years do we have to do the podcast to be able to say we've been around since half of YouTube's history? Like, is it 15?
19 and a half years because you've only been doing this for half a year, if that, not even.
Oh, right. We would have to be at least the length that they've done. So YouTube's
Yes,
40th
minus
anniversary.
the 4 months we've been recording.
All right.
So
yeah.
19 and 2/3 year, 19 years and 8 months.
Okay. So I will be 48 years old.
Yep. Pitching me riddles,
And we'll be retaking the Blackbeard quiz at that time to
stabbing
see
me
if
with your stinger, drowning us in the river. Yeah.
It's in the scorpion's nature to sting. So are you gonna hate on the scorpion for stinging you?
No, I'm gonna offer the scorpion 1 gold coin and see what happens.
I'm gonna offer the scorpion 1 gold coin and say your next best bet is that someone fucking squashes your ass and throws you overboard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mallory, this is really freeing because do you have anything else to say about the pirate riddle before we get to the rankings?
Actually, no. Actually, I think we did cover all the bases.
We covered everything.
When you were talking about the pirates like orating, I think that was like what I wanted, was just someone to like play the space with me and like really consider the logistics of these pirates and their little situation. So I feel pretty satisfied.
It's been a hell of an experiment. I'll say that. We're ranking, right? We're at the ranking period of the podcast, and I think that you've given me a great gift because I've been too nice on this podcast. I don't have anything in the bottom tier, and now I'm free. I finally can say that the 5-pirate riddle goes in the D tier, and I can now have the full breadth of content across all of the Nobody Leaves ranking.
Well, so you actually haven't ranked anything S tier, which is really interesting.
Well, that'll come at some point, I'm sure. If you stop giving me riddles.
I mean, the everyone we all are like bated breath for the retiering when you're gonna bump up
twice.
What happens next? That's
would
the
bump
real.
Up what happens next.
We know what
but I have
happens
that in
next.
B. I'd bump that up to A.
Yeah, we know it's going up. Can we get it to S? Leave 1,000 likes on this pirate video, and Sam will change his opinion.
It's unsurprising that I've pitched you a sale tier, but you have not pitched me a stop making sense tier.
Yeah, it's pretty unsurprising. I think honestly, I feel like that's my next goal. It's not surprising. I feel like that should be my next goal, is to like actually kind of like crack that ceiling, because I want to be a good recommender, and I like a lot of stuff, and I'm passionate about it, and I do. There is something inside me that like actually wants to like be able to like turn people on to stuff, but I don't think I'm as good as that as you, and I would like to learn from you. I may be an older pirate, but I think you've got a much better solution.
Boo. Boo hiss. Boo. Well, it's been an interesting couple of weeks of the podcast, right? We've had some adventures. We've had some avant-garde options and subjects.
A lot of turmoil.
So I kind of want to bring it... Yes, I want to bring it back to basics this week.
Yes.
I would pitch you Sinners, but I'm not confident that you can see it in a Japanese theater yet. So I'll wait on that maybe. Instead, we haven't been doing enough anime on this podcast. So I think it's time. I've been sitting on this for a while. I want to revisit it. There's a loud car going by. As soon as I start my diatribe, that's fine. Technology. Can't escape it. Can't live with it. Can't live with it.
The best joke. The best joke. Can't live with it.
Joke ever. Can't live with it. But what if you had to? What if society made you have to contend with the horrors of rampant technology and rampant capitalism? We're visiting Cyberpunk Edgerunners. We're going to take a trip to Night City next week.
Oh.
Studio Trigger's most recent anime are based in the Cyberpunk universe. So, yeah, be there or be square, Choom. Look forward to it next week.
That is exciting. We're going to the future.
You sound very excited.
And I'll see you later.
Boo. Boo, no sell, boo.
I just realized if we ever do Metal Gear Solid, I can just use the same eye fetch that I made.
Absolutely.